Hey guys, it's Grand Admiral Thrawn, and today I'm doing a Black Series review of everyone's favorite Nurse Droid, IG-11. And before I get started, I actually sustained damage to my central processing unit. So real quick, alright, now that that's over with, IG-11, I'm so glad that they gave him his own mold. They could have just reused IG-88s. And I'm sure they actually did reuse some of the features from that one, but overall, this is its own unique mold, and I love that they gave him his own unique mold. I like how there's all these wires running on his legs and on his body, just around his whole body. I like how there's all these just mechanical features along his entire body to make him feel more like a robot and less like just a plastic model thing here. I like all of that. I like how they captured his look from The Mandalorian. He's very thin and just like very skinny of a model and a mold here. It's very, just his whole body is very skinny. His legs are, his chest is, just the entire body. His head, I like how they actually did that and gave him like the eyes of where his face isn't a normal face. It's like an actual robot face. I like all these great features they did. I like how they actually gave him different colors and he's not all gray. There's the orange and the brown along his body, like in the show. And I like how they gave him his vest that he wears. And there's just so many great details on IG-11 that they did with this figure and so many great features, and I can't wait to dive into them. But before I do, one quick thing. My figure, I'm actually missing a part of it, so if this is going to affect your opinion of my review in any way, I'd recommend that you get off now, but I'm missing one of these little rubber things here on this arm. It broke off. So if you have an issue with that, I guess leave now. But for those of you who don't, I love all the features they gave this figure, like how his legs move simply like this. His feet will rotate like that to match level ground. Both of the legs move. They don't move out to the side, they only move forward. That is a bit of an issue. Like you can't have him in a great pose, I guess. He can only be like sitting or standing. And speaking of that, he also cannot do his 360 turns with his body. He can turn slightly like this, but he can't fully rotate his body like in the show. However, I'm still really happy with the few rotations he does have. His arms can move fully like this, so you can make those cool poses like that. And his arms are very unique. And if you're actually wondering how Hasbro made it that his tiny hands hold blasters they've already made molds for, they did a really creative thing of that there's holes at the bottom of his blaster and these tiny little things for his hand to connect into that hole. Both of his guns are like that. I think that's actually really ingenious of them to think of on a way for IG-11 to hold pre-existing blaster molds. That's really cool. He comes with a holster for his bigger gun, just like in the show. We don't actually see this, but I think it's really cool that they did that. And you can have him do one gun. The guns can only go in certain hands. I've tried this before. It doesn't usually work out well, so just keep them in the hand they're intended for. If you need a hint, the little one goes in the bigger hand and the bigger one goes in the little hand. But yeah, it's really cool how they did that. And I like that they got his guns right for his accessories, because IG-11 has two different guns that he uses, one that's big and one that's small. Both of these are already existing Star Wars guns, and they did a great job on both of them. And they just did a great job on this whole figure. Like I said, with all that great detailing, there's detailing on the front, on the arms, on the legs, on the back. He even has detailing on the back of his vest. And his head can turn 360, so you can rotate it around like in the show. And it's just a great figure. I like how they even gave this little thing here so you know where to put his head in neutral position. That's great. There's just all these great features they gave this figure with his arms and everything. And they even gave him these little rubber things here to cover up where, like how he is in the show. I am missing the one here. But yeah, I think they did an amazing job with all those features. There is one feature, though, that I cannot forgive Hasbro for excluding on this figure, and that is for not including his self-destruct feature. It's one of his main features, and it even looks like this little thing here can open, so they clearly detailed it as though he has his self-destruct, but it doesn't actually open. All they would have needed to do is make it that this thing goes down, and you can pull it back up, and have like the little detail of the self-destruct thing. It would have been so cool. That is my only major issue I have with this figure. And they didn't include that feature. It's just such a shame that we didn't get that feature. I really wish we did. It would have been so cool to have, but unfortunately we don't have that. There we go, okay. But anyway, I love all the features we do get for this IG-11. He's great at posability. Although he does have limited posability, he's really good at the ones he does have. One issue, though, that I do have with the figure is since he has such a narrow frame, a lot of the time he will struggle with actually standing up. So that's a test if you're patient or not, if you can wait for your droid to stand right. I've known some of the ones that work and some that don't. Like, you can't just have him standing up still. Or evidently you can when I need him to fall down. But anyway, I think they did an amazing job on IG-11. They have all this great detailing, like how he is in the show. He looks just like him. And there's just a lot of great detailing they gave this figure. It's just like how he is in The Mandalorian. And I wouldn't want it any other way. He comes with a red box, like one of my favorite types of Black Series. And the box is actually really good. I like the picture. It's simple. He's number... nothing. He doesn't have a number. Why didn't they give IG-11 a number? They could have given him IG-11. That would have been a perfect number. But sadly, he doesn't have a number. On the back, you have that same picture, but with a little more detail. And it's nice there. And on the side, they do actually include IG-11. Like, not the little red one, but on the side they have it in gray lettering. It's hard to see, but it is there. But overall, I'm so glad that we did get this figure. It's such a great figure. I'm so glad we have it. Even with the two major downsides of that he doesn't have the best posability because he's always falling over, and that he doesn't have a self-destruct feature, I still think this is a 10 out of 10 IG-11 figure. And it's a figure that I really recommend you get. And if you don't want to get this one, get the IG-12 that's coming out soon. Because either way, you can recreate one of the greatest scenes in The Mandalorian if you just have two scout troopers. And yeah, this is Grand Admiral Thrawn signing off. This IG-11 figure is a 10 out of 10. And I look forward to our next encounter in my next video. See ya.